say cutbacks. We say fight back. They say cutbacks. We say fight back. They say cutbacks. We say fight back. They say cutbacks. We say fight back.
Yeah, I'm relentlessly optimistic. I think the recent election demonstrates that we've arrived at a really teachable moment. We've arrived at a point where we have, coming out of Washington, a message that we're all in this together.
We say fight back!
Well, this is both of our first demonstration, and we're here because we want to support the cause, and we believe that the budget should not be cut, and that we should stand up for what is right.
And then, of course, Schwarzenegger is now cutting another $66 million, I believe it is. And we just can't afford these cuts. Students aren't going to be able to get the classes they need to graduate. Faculty and staff are not getting raises. Our salaries have really stagnated over many years.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! We're fired up, can't take it no more. Hey, hey!
Like myself and like others, we can't afford for the tuition. I stay in the dorms for all these fees to keep rising up because it's going to come to the have and have-nots.
This was the first year that the government actually denied 10,000 incoming freshmen. Remind you, many of these students were minorities, and many of these students basically made the requirements to apply to a CSU. So getting denied is basically saying they meet the qualifications and they're still not admitted.
I had students coming to me at the beginning of the semester saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for today's laboratory because I couldn't buy my lab manual. I had to spend my paycheck buying all my other textbooks and I ran out of money. Can I come back, with my lab manual next week?
I still don't have all my books, to be honest. I had to scrimp and save just to get the few books as I go for every class. And that's how it's affecting me and also like my financial situation.
Everything that's happening here today, it's just a symptom of this bigger disease that's going on. It's not just the cuts have consequences, everybody's affected.
Whose university?
Our university! Whose university? Our university!
In a system that is as marginally funded as the CSU, all cuts have consequences for educational access and for our ability to provide quality education for the people of California. The most recent round of cuts came last January when the governor proposed to cut $288 million from the CSU budget.
People are very, very angry that they're telling us they need to cut classes, raise tuition when the money is there. The rich in this state could pay more. The federal government passing out trillions to these corporations could prevent any cuts by providing direct aid to the state of California. I'm a lecturer. If these cuts go through, I will be laid off.
I have two sons who attend Cal State LA. One just graduated, so we are a two-generation college degree family, finally. And I want to send one message to another mom, Maria Shriver. And I want to say I'm so glad that your child is going to USC. She has that opportunity. Great for her, great for your family. But look around, Mrs. Shriver, Mrs. First Lady, and you're the mother of all the kids who live in the state, who have a dream and who have a wish for the future. Stand with us. Cuts have consequences to families and to communities. Stand with us.
It's no surprise that everyone is going to be suffering. That's why we're here every semester to demand for our right for our education. Right now I'm supposed to be in class, but instead I'm here trying to get a class for next semester.
I'm the first one in my family of 6 kids to graduate from high school, let alone go on to college. I am here today because someone told me that the CSU was for everybody, and I don't want that to change. It took 90 years at Humboldt State for our tuition to reach $1,000. It took 5 years to double.
Yeah. Whose university? Our university. Whose university? Our university.
Governor Schwarzenegger had half of it right. It's no longer a spending problem, it's a revenue problem. We have got to go to the people of California and tell them, invest in the education system, invest in the intellectual infrastructure, Invest so that we can grow. Invest so this state can prosper now and in the future.
You all want to invest in California. You don't want to cut California.
There are 31 million.
I can tell you, the trustees and I don't want to cut a penny. But this state right now
don't negotiate, resist
is in
the state.
an economic free fall. The problem is what the lieutenant governor said. It's a revenue problem. And where we need to carry your message is to Sacramento, to the legislature, so that they raise new revenue to fund education.
And we know that every dollar that we spend educating people in this state comes back to the state fourfold with better jobs, and with a greater economic progress, and with everyone's lives being improved.
It's wrong for the state of California to balance its budget on the backs of students, which is exactly what happens when the CSU passes along all the money raised from the fee hikes from the governor.
Because if a black man could be elected president with basically because a lot of young people, a lot of college students by the hundreds of thousands went out and got him elected, then we can change this country. We can stop these cuts.
We need to invest in each other, and higher education is part of what it takes to invest in ourselves on a very selfish level for our own well-being, but also for each other. We've got to do the investment. These kids are the future.